Welcome to the program Perspective on ITV. This program brings you topical issues with analysis and, of course, profiling solutions to the general issues being brought up here. My name is Chuka Onghai. Last week we were here on the program, and of course this week we're back here. On this week's episode, 2023 elections have come and gone. But we cannot forget so soon. Analysis have been raised from various stakeholders and, of course, various political settings. On this week's episode, I will be taking a look at the analysis from a Senator Smart Adeyemi, representing Kogi West, where he made analysis on the issues of the elections that brought about the victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and, of course, the vice, Kashim Shettima. Let's take you through those analyses from Senator Smart Adeyemi. And when we come back, the program Perspective is on.
I've tried to come here today to join all the Nigerians to appreciate that by the grace of God on Monday we'll be having a new president. A president that is going to turn things around. A president that is going to resurrect so many things in this country. Nigeria needs incoming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima now more than ever before. I say this because there's a need for people to understand why some of us took the position we took by supporting Asiwaju. We supported it because Nigeria needs a leader that will create wealth, that will open new frontiers, new economic frontiers, new political frontiers, that will help to galvanize socio-economic development of our nation. And I'm not in doubt that the incoming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man with the experience that is required that will help to rejuvenate our economy and create jobs and expand the economic base of our nation. Now, why I'm saying this is that a good number of people may still be having issues as to why did you vote for Asiwaju? Because your party? No. It is because those of us who are on the other side into politics, we look at issues differently. We look at issues as it affects the people. Others look at figures. But a good politician will not look at figures. You'll be looking at the state of standard of living of the citizen. You'll be looking at the infrastructures. You'll be comparing them with what you have seen elsewhere. So for me, I hold the view that we need the incoming president and Shettima, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Kashim Shettima now in the history of our nation. This time we need them. But with the joy in the heart of quite millions of Nigerians that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima are coming, you must not only forget in a hurry that some people tried all they could not to make it possible. Nigeria is a nation where people forget so easily. Don't forget that there was an attempt that would have led to anarchy. This country was just a nation that God in his mercy had decided to keep together. You have forgotten that there was a time before this election that people could not get 1,000 naira in their pocket. You have forgotten in a hurry that there are some people who died just because some people planned evil, treachery, to thwart the desire of Nigerians to have a progressive government in place. Each time I speak here, I talk about the northern governors. Today we are about to start celebrating, or we have started celebrating Asiwaju coming and Shettima. Don't forget that the northern governors, they came together and said, for the peace and stability of Nigeria, the next president should come from the south. So each time we talk, we must give credit, commendation to northern governors who, in their wisdom, decide to say they are not going to fit candidates. That they have adopted Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their candidate. They did that because, unknown to Nigerians, to become president of this country is not what you attain within 2, 3 months, 6 months. The incoming president has built bridges. He has built people across the length and breadth of the nation, of Nigerian nation. There are very few Nigerians who can match Asiwaju in terms of a man who has planted people, who have encouraged younger ones to grow. Yours truly standing here, I'm one of those who have enjoyed the benevolence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has raised people. So to become Nigerian president, it's not what you wake up one morning. You must have built bridges. Asiwaju has built bridges. And that's why Asiwaju emerged easily. And that explains why the northern region gave a massive support for Asiwaju Tinubu. Now, at the time of that election, don't forget, because I need to refresh people's memory. Because Nigerians forget things so easily. At that time, some people were whipping up sentiment that the North will vote for Atiku. But it was not the case. The North decided in the spirit of Sardauna. You know, each time I talk about Sardauna, because under the Sardauna government, we have a slogan, we say one North, one Nigeria. There is no issue of tribe or religion under Sardauna. And that explains why we who are Yorubas or Kwara Kogi, we don't even know any difference between us and the people from Katsina, because there's fairness, there's justice, there's equity under Sardauna. We were part of the government, fully involved. No discrimination under Sardauna. It was in that spirit that people like the governor of Kaduna, El-Rufai and co. rose up to say, in the spirit of the unity of Nigeria, the candidate should come from the south. So as we are celebrating the coming of Asiwaju, we must not forget those who helped to make the emerging dispensation possible. We must not only forget those who made effort to destroy Nigeria. And we will talk about PDP in connivance with CBN. Now, they told you people that there will be new currency. Where is the new currency now? So if we have not gone back to the old currency, what would have happened? There would have been anarchy. This country would have sunk. Nigerians will forget things easily. That people died. Petty traders, those who trade in stocks of perishable goods, livestock, from the north to the south, those who are into fruit, moving of fruit from the south to the north, those who sell bananas, oranges, many of them, their goods got perished. They couldn't get petrol, they couldn't get fuel to move their vehicle. Those of them who died, because they are poor people today, that they don't count for, it doesn't matter to some people. Because they are not their fathers, they are not their mothers who have died. Those who died in the course of not getting currency, those who couldn't pay medical bills because there was no currency, they died. It doesn't matter, Abi. To some people, it doesn't matter. To some of us, it matters. And I'm telling you today that we'll remember those who made some innocent people to die. Those who destroyed the source of livelihood of Nigerians because of politics, of not allowing currency to flow. Now they told you people they are bringing new currency. Where is the new currency now? The new currency, the few have disappeared. How much was expended in printing those currency that they brought? You are not asking questions. I put it to you journalists. Ask them.
You have asked all those questions.
Where is the new currency now? They just came up with a gimmick in order to destroy Nigerian nation. Can you imagine what would have happened if the election didn't hold? Do you know what would have happened if Asiwaju didn't win? Then there will be interpretation of sentiment and there will be a dichotomy that will be so glaring. You will now have a situation where you now have Asiwaju, God forbid, and Obi going to court. You know what that means to our nation? We must continue to respect and honor the northern governors who came in their wisdom and said, power should move to the south. You see, Martin Luther King said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands at the moment of comfort and confidence, but at a time of challenge and controversy. Those who are men of honor are those who will rise when the occasion demands it and take a position. Not those who will keep quiet and pretend as if nothing happened. Yes, I'm leaving the Senate, but let me tell you, the records are there. I spoke when it mattered most. I rose and spoke on contemporary issues. You can't come here and be afraid to tell the nation the truth. We are the statesmen of today. Those who told you they are bringing new currency, where is the new currency now? MFLA should expend to Nigerians. How much was expended in the few millions you brought to print this new currency? Don't forget the Minister of Finance said she was not aware that there was a plan to to print new currency. So the new currency gimmick was a master plan of PDP and CBN. Don't forget that the CBN governor, MFLA, and Okowa, they are cousin brothers from the same area. So they want to sing Nigerian nation. So as we are celebrating that we have a new president coming, we will not forget those who tried to destroy our nation. At that time, it was almost to a point of anarchy. People have started attacking banks. Nigerians, you forget it so easily. You forget. Do you know those who died because they couldn't pay, they have no money to pay medical bills? Because they are not your brother, they are not your relation, it doesn't matter to you. It matters to some of us. Because some of us came to this politics not because we are looking for money. We came because we felt we are going to add value. I made up my mind I was coming to add value when I was coming to politics. It's not frustration. It's not that I have nothing to do. I was lucky. I had the blessing of God that I don't need to come to politics. But that is not the essence of life. The essence of life is for you to add value to your community, to your nation. Let it be said, you achieved this, you did this. Let me tell you, my brother and sister, you have a role to play as journalists. Don't just keep quiet. When people came with all those intrigues to derail democracy, fuel was no longer available. How can you imagine that a government that is governed by that has a political party with an aspirant, then they will come out with a devilish plan of new currency? Now, where is the new currency? So if the Supreme Court, and we must commend the judiciary for their courage and their boldness of not allowing money to declare judgment, sense of reasoning, because the court is not just a court of law, but a court of justice and a court of reasoning. A court is not just a court of law, a court of reasoning. They use their brain. They knew that it was a political gimmick to sink our nation. I want to salute all those who stood at that time. The judiciary, the northern governors, who stood and said no, that this thing must not be allowed to happen. So as we are preparing and we are celebrating and we are thanking God, we must ask the question, those who plan evil against our nation should not be allowed to go free. They must give account. All those who plan to destroy Nigeria before this election, they must be brought to book. They must come and give account. When was that money, when was it approved that we should have new currency? What was the intention of those who mooted the idea of new currency? And why is it that you came up with a short time for people to exchange their currency? What happens after all? Have there been new currency in more circulation? No. In fact, to the contrary, we are seeing new notes of old currency. So they kept that money to do what? So that this country will sink. We thank God that Nigeria is floating. And my prayer is that this country will continue to float. And you have a responsibility. Don't underrate your pen, your medium. Never underrate what you write. Don't underrate that you are not part. You may not be part of those who are siphoning money, but you are part of those who are governing. The media is part of the arm of governance. If people are perpetuating evil and you keep quiet, God forbid. Those who are perpetuating evil, they know where their resources have been kept. Those who want Nigeria to be destroyed, they have their children and they have billions stuck in foreign banks. So they don't talk the way I talk. Because me, I have only one passport. And this is the 9th year I have not traveled to this country. I have want to go out, but I derive pleasure on being in Abuja. That is my capital. I'm not part of those who squander Nigeria foreign reserve, foreign exchange abroad. I stay in my nation. And I'm proud to be a Nigerian. And that's why when we talk, we are passionate about our nation. We are passionate not because we want to play to the gallery. We are passionate by our action, by our utterances, by our way of life. I believe in Nigeria. And this country is one of the greatest nations on earth that I know. As a journalist, I've had privilege of visiting about 35 countries, cutting across the 4 or 5 continents. So there's nowhere that's strange to me. So when I talk because I believe in my nation. And I want you to have that vision for our country. Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima, there's going to be a new Nigeria. Because what we need now is somebody who will generate wealth, who will create wealth, in the sense that the economy globally is not giving us a good picture. You know, we are thinking that there is possibility of economy recession globally. So we need a president who will galvanize and create wealth so that jobs will be created. And finally, I want to appeal to Mr. President, the incoming president, that he should champion all other third world countries. We should ask for debt forgiveness. We cannot pay. Our people cannot, we won't allow our people to die. The population should not be allowed to die for loans that have been taken, that some of them, they are even inexplicable. For me, the $800 million they're asking for, personally, I don't think it's going to fly in the National Assembly. I don't think. As we're about winding up, I don't think the National Assembly will support any new loan again. I don't think so. If it happens, I will not support. But I will tell you this, that the loans that we have taken is enough. Number two, African nations should rise. We cannot pay. You know why we cannot pay? In the last 10 years, Europe should look at capital flow from Africa to their nation. Let them probe all the money that came from African nations. A good percentage of this money was stolen money. So let them take their loans from the money that have been siphoned to their nations. Don't allow the poor to pay for the sin of the rich. For me, African nations should start asking for debt forgiveness. We can't pay. We don't have the means to pay. They should write it up. And with your support, it's possible. African nation must team up. Developed nation must team up. To Asia, to Europe, to America, that we cannot pay any foreign debt. That is my position, and I want you to support it. PDP is the main opposition party. Am I right? Yes, sir. Now, in the course of the people are moving. In the course of the deliberation for redesigning of the currency, yes, please go back on the net and take a look at the utterances of the principal officers of PDP at that time, and the opposition party. When APC were shouting that the redesign of the currency was meant to bring down the economy and to discredit the APC, the utterances of the opposition party, headed by their flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar, was in affirmative, in support of this policy. You see, as a leader, people can come and propose and package a program for you. You may not even get the details of what they want to do. When Emefiele announced the currency, the redesign of the currency, he told us that within 6 months, that there be enough new currency notes in circulation. I ask you, was that new currency, was it sufficient? People cannot even get their money. Even the old note was not available. See, look, let me tell you, I've outgrown partisan politics. When I speak, I've been critical of APC on the floor. That some people be asking me, are you a member of the APC? I don't play partisan politics with what affects the life of Nigerians. I don't do it. The people come first. So if I speak on the fact available to me. I don't support APC if I see that they are doing something that is bad. I will come and say this is bad. There are many things, let me tell you, that I say about our party that I don't even say it out. Because I want them to get it right. Let me tell you that if the redesign of the currency was meant for the economic prosperity of Nigeria, before you even announced it, you will know you have more than 3/4 of what is required to be injected into the circulation. Even the old note was not available at the time. It took the Supreme Court to compare the release of the old note. So is there any sabotage more than that? It's just an attempt to cripple the economy and collapse the nation. And already people have started attacking banks. The next thing they will do is to start attacking individuals. Then there'll be anarchy. That was the intention of the opposition. And the utterances, go and check the utterances of all these people in PDP. They were supporting the policy. And why are they supporting the policy? In an ideal society, I said it here, Emefiele should have resigned from CBN long time. A man who aspired to be president and bought his form and he didn't get it. He shifted loyalty. PDP now brought a cousin brother of his from the same state as running mate. So what do I expect him to do? All these policies were put in place to make it impossible for APC to win. But you see, I will go through scriptural verses, one in the Bible, one in the Quran. You see, the Bible says, nobody taketh any honor upon himself except that who has been chosen, such as of Aaron. The Bible says, both riches and honor come from thee, O God, and thou reignest over it. In your hand is power and might, in your hand is it to make great and to give strength unto all. The Muslim will say, Kadarallahu haka kadri. God has destined Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be president. Take it or leave it, with Shettima as his vice. If not, the problem that emanated before the election was enough for us not to even win at all. But you know what happened? Nigeria realized that it was a calculated attempt to pull down APC, to pull down Asiwaju and Shettima. And they came out and said, for that reason, we are going to support Asiwaju. That was what happened. Asiwaju emergence was the will of the people and the power of God to tell Nigerians that once you have decided to make somebody your leader, there is no any plan that can stop it. That explains why Asiwaju emerged. And I want you to know that under Asiwaju, there is going to be a re-restoration of Nigeria. Debt forgiveness. Well, for me, I tell you this, that when you say you want to help a nation, you don't add more to our problems. Let Europe, Asia, help us to improve the supply of fuel. Let us have more refineries. Let us invest more in energy that will galvanize economic activities of our nation. Okay? All the facilities they are giving to us, they are a kind of stick and carrot. For me, there's nothing bad in saying, look, with the economic recession, we can't pay. There's nothing bad in it. But more importantly, can you sit down and look at the number of Nigerians traveling weekend they are back? Do you know what they are going to do? Let them investigate. Go and check the accounts of all Nigerians abroad. And let us ask questions how you came about your money. Some of you, maybe you have money abroad. So you come and tell us how you have made the money. So for me, a good percentage of money that we are asking are part of the money that some people have stolen and they have stuck in foreign banks. And that's the truth. That's my position. Emefiele said, am I the only one? The nation is calling for his head. I'm asking you, those whose relations died because they couldn't get 10,000 naira to pay to carry people to hospital. Those who business perish. Those who carry cows, livestock going to south, and they have no money to buy fuel for their trucks, and the cow died of starvation. Those who carry bananas from Benin, Edo, those who carry garri from Owerri, coming to Abuja, they all perish. So those people doesn't matter. I'm asking, they don't matter because they are poor people. To me, they matter. And we should not forget that some people died. And there's no amount of money that can replace the life of people. Those who died, so no compensation for Nigerians who died in the course of redesigning of the currency. So nobody should be held responsible. I'm asking you a question. That those who died because they are poor people, we should not talk about them. Those who business collapsed, those who went to the bank and they strapped themselves naked out of frustration and pains, it doesn't matter to you because they are not your relation, Abi. If they are your relation, will you be comfortable? That somebody went to bank and tear her clothes and remove her trouser and say, let him die out of frustration. It doesn't matter because they are poor people. So to me, I think it matters.
Welcome back from those analyses from Senator Smart Adeyemi, Kogi West Senator, on the outcome of the 2023 elections. And of course, I hope you've been enlightened from those analyses from Senator Smart Adeyemi. Of course, that brings us to the end of the program Perspective for this week. Join me same time next week on this program Until then, enjoy the rest of the program. My name is Chu Kaunguhai, and bye for now.